The first night of destruction. The late summer air lay heavy over the valley, a velvet darkness broken only by the shimmer of a harvest moon. Crickets sang their endless chorus, while the sweet smell of ripening corn drifted across the fields. It should have been a night of calm anticipation, the quiet pause before morning's harvest. But beneath that stillness, something restless stirred. I woke to the distant barking of a neighbor's dog. At first, I thought nothing of it. Farm dogs bark at shadows all the time. Yet the sound sharpened, frantic, as though the animal had sensed a danger older than memory. I sat upright, heart beating against my ribs. A single cry split the night, raw and urgent. Mike, my neighbor, calling my name. Boots half-laced, I ran into the cool darkness. Moonlight pooled across the road like spilled milk, guiding me toward the cornfield. The moment I reached the fence, the world seemed to tilt. Stalks lay broken, flattened into wide, swirling paths. Entire rows, weeks of care and labor, had been shredded as if by a living storm. Mike's face glistened with sweat despite the chill. "They're back," he rasped. I didn't need to ask who they were. Wild boars, massive, cunning, relentless. For months we'd heard stories from neighboring counties. Crops annihilated overnight, irrigation lines torn apart, livestock attacked without warning. But seeing the ruin firsthand was different. It was personal. Rising dread. I stepped between the ruined stalks. The sweet scent of corn mixed with the acrid musk of animals. Prints gouged the soil, hooves the size of a man's fist, deep as a hammer blow. These weren't lone wanderers. This was a herd, moving with military precision. Fear and fury braided together in my chest. Every farmer knows the quiet dread of a failed harvest, but this was theft, by nature itself. Months of work stolen in a single night. Mike gripped my shoulder. "We can't wait for the county rangers. By dawn, they'll be miles away." He was right. Calling the authorities meant paperwork and delay. What we needed was action. Gathering the hunters. By 2 a.m., we had a plan. I phoned Jack, an old friend whose family had hunted these lands for generations. Within the hour, headlights cut across the dark hills as trucks arrived one by one. Jack stepped out, rifle slung, eyes grim. "Heard they're mean this year," he said quietly. "Bigger, smarter." Behind him came Sarah and her 2 hounds, Arrow and Flint, sleek, sharp-nosed creatures bred for speed and courage. They yipped eagerly, catching the musky scent that clung to the soil. I felt a strange mixture of gratitude and guilt as each hunter approached. We were farmers, yes, but tonight we were something older, something primal, a band of people defending their lifeblood. First signs, we fanned into the field, headlamps slicing through the corn like small moons. The night pressed close, thick with the smell of trampled plants and animal sweat. Every crackle of a stalk sent my heart racing. Then, rustle. A shadow darted between rows, low and fast. Arrow barked, a sharp report that jolted the blood in my veins. I raised my rifle, breath held. The creature burst into view. A massive boar, bristles slick with moonlight, eyes burning like coals. It froze for a fraction of a second, just long enough. The shot echoed across the valley. The boar staggered, then fell with a heavy thud. Steam curled from its body into the cold night air. A life ended, a field avenged. Yet the victory brought no triumph, only a deeper awareness of the many still hidden. Echoes of the past. As we regrouped, Jack spoke low. "My grandfather used to tell stories about nights like this," he said. "Said these beasts remember the old ways. They come when the land is fat and the moon is high." I thought of my own grandfather, who had fought storms, drought, and blight. but never an enemy like this. We farmed to feed, to nurture, to bring life. And yet, here we were, forced to kill to keep that promise. Tracking the herd arrow's nose pressed to the ground, tail rigid. The hounds moved as if pulled by invisible thread, weaving through the corn toward the western ridge. We followed, rifles ready, each step deliberate. The terrain grew wild, stalks giving way to tangled brush. Somewhere ahead, a twig snapped, sharp as a gunshot. We froze. Another boar exploded from the undergrowth, tusks flashing. Jack fired once, twice. The beast lurched, then collapsed with a guttural grunt. Even in death it looked unstoppable, muscles coiled like steel cables. Midnight reckoning. For hours we hunted, the night a blur of breath and heartbeat. We felled 3 more boars before dawn's first gray light touched the horizon. Each encounter tested our nerve. Each shot felt both necessary and cruel. When the sun finally rose, we stood amid the broken field, exhausted, silent. Birds began to sing, oblivious to the violence that had passed. Around us lay the evidence, bodies of creatures that,